Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 7. We're going to talk about disaster recovery. All right, before I start talking about disaster recovery, let's talk about the regular market standards when a team or the organization or you're building in a project. There's always disaster recovery has to be in place for a project. So it's a critical aspect of maintaining resiliency and continually keeping your operations up and running or any enterprise infrastructure. So for organizations, leverage JFrog Artifactory. For other JFrog products, several disaster recovery strategies and options can be employed to ensure data integrity and availability in the face of failure or disasters, right? So to take this into an bigger scale, so let's talk about what is a disaster recovery, what are the key features we look at in two critical things, which is called as an RTO, where the maximum acceptable delay between the interruption of the service and restoration of a service. So technically, this determines an acceptable length of a time the service downtime. For example, in an e-commerce website or banking website, the RTO has been 4 hours. So technically, the business must ensure that website or system is back online within 4 hours of an outage to avoid the significant loss of revenue and customer trust. So pretty much in a recovery point objective, which is also called as an RPO, uh, this is where the maximum acceptable amount of a time since the last data recovery point that determines what is considered an acceptable loss of a data. So for example, if RPO for financial database is 30 minutes, that the business must ensure the backups are taken frequently enough so that no more than 30 minutes of a data is lost in the event of a failure. So every project in the scenario, they will have an the loss cost has been captured in, especially if I lose 30 minutes of data, what is the impact if a customer has been transacted to something, and what's the business or the bank losing revenue here, not only from a customer perspective, even the bank needs to have some auditable traceability information. How do they go back and compensate that amount to a customers? Depends on the transactions, right? So there are a few strategies in a market. Most of a cloud or on-prem, they always look into this kind of a scenarios where the services build DR strategies to meet depends on a kind of a projects or business you're going to do it. So the one of our least cost-effective process of backup and recovery strategy, which is considered as the least efficient for RTOs. Backups are created in the same region as they are sourced and also copied to another region. Uh, this this backup and recovery gives most of the uh, applications or a system or a business gives an effective protection from a disaster of any scope of impact. Right? With the pilot-led strategy, the critical data is live, but the service are idle. Live data means that data stores and databases are up to date and nearby up to date data with an active region and ready to serve with read-only operations, which you might have seen one of our example here. I can put is in a database, putting in multi-region read replicas or multi-AZ read replicas to support up and live when something goes down application. but the data is real-time replicating uh, to a different region. So like the pilot light strategy, the warm standby strategy maintains live data in addition to the periodic backups. The difference between the two infrastructures and the code that runs on it is a warm standby maintains minimum deployment that can handle requests, but at a reduced capacity. It cannot handle production live traffic. Uh, this means that it's easier to test a warm standby because it requires no additional work for a passive endpoints to handle any synthetic test transactions before you send a data. And also, before failover, the infrastructure must scale up to meet production needs. With the site, multi-site active, this is one of our costly operation for until you are really, this is required. Most of our organizations doesn't do this kind of a multi-site active until your systems like social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, they are multi-site active most of the time to support 2 or more regions are actually accepting a request. And here also, they do failover consistency of rerouting request away from regions that cannot serve them. The data is replicated across regions and is actually used to serve red request in other regions. So keeping all this aside, how this information is value added to our JFrog is depends on the customers, how they can do this. So JFrog supports a few options here using mission control, provides a centralized management solution for multi-site Artifactory instances, which facilitates the monitoring and management of multiple Artifactory instances from a single pane of a class, making it easier to implement and manage disaster recovery plans using a mission control to configure, monitor, and manage the DR strategies across all Artifactory instances. So multi-site replication, this is also called as an federation in terms of a JFrog. JFrog supports multi-site replication, which ensures that artifacts and the metadata are synchronized across multiple geographically dispersed replication data from a different sites. If one goes down, another site can take over, ensure no loss of data or downtime, configuring the repositories for bidirectional and unidirectional replication between a different Artifactory instances. Backup and restore, which already we talked about this in our previous slide. It's taking a regular backups and for Artifactory repositories, configuration metadata to secure your storage solution, which ensure that data can be restored to previous state in case of a corruption, accidental deletions, which generally we do not support restoring the deleted content, but depends on your customer scenario. You can reach out to our support and we might help you to do that. So in this scenario, technically you're backing up your data stored to a remote or a secure locations. For example, in terms of AWS as a S3, if you're on Azure, it's a blob storage, and regularly test your restore procedures to ensure your backup integrity and restore capabilities are works as per your business needs. So high availability configuration is a deployable artifact in using multiple nodes, which provides a redundancy and failure capabilities within a single site, ensuring your continuous operations even if a one node fails. This scenario is used as a load balancer to distributed traffic among multiple Artifactory nodes, are also synchronized and shared a common database and a file store. Cross-region and is during a distribution of your Artifactory instances across different geographical regions and cloud providers. Uh, it ensures resilience against your regional outages and configure provider specific issues, and also utilizing your cloud native tools and deployable artifacts instances across various regions. Uh, Setting up your database replication in a JFrog Artifactory is always available up to date. It's available and up to date disaster recovery scenarios, specific replications such as your Postgres replication to keep your synchronized copy of your data in a separate location. This is using a snapshot for a quick recovery and mechanism by capturing point-in-time snapshots of Artifactory data and configuration of your utilizing a cloud provider snapshots, features like AWS snapshots, Azure Disk snapshots to take regular snapshots of your Artifactory instances. But in summary, overall implementation, robust disaster recovery options in a JFrog Artifactory involves a combination of a multi-site replication, regular backups, high availability configurations, and a strategic use of your cloud and database replication technologies. You can use it. By adopting all these practices, your organization can ensure the continuity and resilience of your artifact management systems, minimize the impact of potential disasters on your operations. So now I'm gonna compare all these types with the market standards and how we can achieve this in JFrog disaster recovery options, and also involving aligning of your JFrog specific solutions with the commonly recognized DR strategies, and also organization can better understand how to leverage JFrog capabilities to meet your specific disaster recovery needs. So backup and restore is a direct match where regular backups of Artifactory data are taken and can be restored in the event of a disaster. And a snapshots management involves taking a point in time, a snapshot of the repository data, which can be restored when needed. Similarly to your backup and restore plan. So pilot light involves keeping a minimum resources running in a secondary region, cross-region replication, ensuring that data is replicated to the secondary site, which can be quickly scaled up if needed, and database replication also ensures the database is continuously copied to another region. So allowing for a quick recovery with a minimal downtime. In a warm standby setup, a scaled down version of your full system runs in a standby mode, ready to scale up in case of a failure. HA provides a similar setup within the same region, and multi-site federation allows multiple artifact instances to synchronize and serve as a backup sites that can be quickly scaled up in case of your primary site goes down. So mission control can manage multiple artifact instances across different sites, supporting an active-active setup where all sites are running and serving a traffic simultaneously. Multi-site federation supports an active-active configuration by allowing your multiple sites to actually handle a request and keep your data synchronized across your locations. All right, so balancing your RTO involves making a trade-off between data loss. It often depends on critical systems and your data involved. For example, JFrog supports your taking your backups of your data uh, and keeps the data for 7 days. And restoration process can be done if any outages happens. So similarly, the RTO and RPO are based on how you have been sub license you brought it up, and it varies based on your license. So I overall in your disasters recovery of your RTO and RPO uh, is essential component for your robust disaster recovery and business continuity plan. So which also you might have heard a term called BCP. By defining and adhering to these objectives, your business can ensure minimum software supply chain disruption and data loss during your outages. Uh, Therefore, maintaining operations, protecting your data, and upholding your customer trust, it will help you to achieve your business goals. All right. And thank you for, I know this is more theory than implementation of our DR, and hope you got what I'm talking about, the point which I'm considering this. All right, and thank you for looking at the DR, and I was comparing it against the market standards, how the JFrog is going to be to keep it an easy and mapping between a market standards, market strategies, right? And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all, and